Welcome back to the channel, friends and family. If you read the title, you know today we're going to be comparing the DJI Action5Pro action camera to my Insta360 X5 camera that I have right there on the handlebar. We're going to be trying out the super night mode and the pure video mode. And basically those modes are designed for low light or nighttime photo or videoing. And since we're motovlogging, we had to get it. The reason I went with the change is because the GoPro was just overheating in the Florida summer, and it would only record about 20 minutes, and that's it. This one, apparently, let's see how it goes, it doesn't overheat, and it gives me more runtime on the battery. So, compared to the GoPro, I already night and day love the DJI Action5Pro. Now the X5, the one on my handlebar, it's my favorite camera out of all of them right now. And it has a night vision mode as well, which we're going to be shooting in as well. It's called Pure Video. You're going to notice as it gets darker with both cameras, car lights, street lights, they're going to appear kind of like foggy. That's just how it is. With the action camera, it went from 4K when you shoot at night, it goes down to like 1080. With the X5, I think it just stays at where you're at 4K. I'm not sure, and it looks a little bit better at night. That's why it's my favorite camera. Now, one of the awesome features with the DJI Osmo Action5Pro is the one that I have mounted on my helmet and gym mount. It lets you directly connect via Bluetooth or with the little box two microphones to the camera. You have dual audio. So right now what I got one in my helmet and I put one in my back pocket. And you split those audio, a little bit of editing, you lower one, raise the other. And that way you guys can hear the tab exhaust a little bit better. And here's the footage from the Insta360 X5 in pure video. It just looks a little bit crispier, and around the street lights you'll start to know it's not as foggy, not as intense. So, but I'll go ahead and shut up and let you guys listen to the bike. And you see now that it's gotten a little darker, you see the street lights. It's got a little fog around all the lights, like a little ring and all that. That's what I mean. But that's because, you know, it's in low light setting in pure video mode as far as the X5. And in a little bit, we'll switch over and you'll see it's a little bit more of a hue or fog around the lights with the DJI Action5Pro. Doesn't bother me too much, but you can definitely tell the difference between shooting in 4K, obviously, and that super night mode. Now, I mentioned earlier the battery runtime on the Action5Pro. It's actually awesome because it matches the Insta360 X5. They're about 3 and some change, 4 hours if I remove a couple of settings and whatnot. And that's awesome because I'm not going to be riding for 4 hours anytime soon. The most I ride is maybe 2 hours. So I'll have some spare battery life. Instead of the GoPros, maybe 30 minutes to an hour. The GoPro was lasting me, and if it was hot, obviously 10 to 20 minutes and it shuts off. Much better. And then look at the hues from the Action 5 compared to the X5 around the lights, street lights, the car lights. we get closer to the end of the video, obviously it's getting darker outside, and we're just going to start chasing some cotton candy skies here. Really pushing the limits of both of these cameras in their night vision, or super night mode and pure video mode. And it's actually some of the best footage I've gotten in some time. And that about wraps it up for this video for tonight. Thanks for joining me as I messed around with some of the settings on both of the cameras and seeing where I gotta be to get my setup all done. But this looks like it's gonna be like this for foreseeable future. I'm really enjoying this camera, the two mics, and mixing it up with the Insta360. Thanks again. Until next time, ride safe.